Hi everyone, it's Rachel back with the Shades of Orange, and today I'm here to do my September unpackaging for the Nightworms. This month's theme is Fall for Murder, and it's all centered around serial killers, which you know I love, but I also want to take this video as an opportunity to update you on what I'm currently reading this weekend because I'm filming this on Saturday before you're watching this. And let's get started. Now, this update feels a little bit different because I actually gave you a TBR at the beginning of September. As you know, I am trying to participate in Space Opera September, which is hosted by Thomas from SFF 180. And the short is that it's going terrible. I have not been in the mood for science fiction this month, and I ended up binging through a couple of epic fantasy books instead, and also reading a bunch of horror mysteries. Don't worry, I'm always reading those. But I did manage to read one science fiction book off my Space Opera September TBR, and that was The Space Between Worlds by Micaiah Johnson, and I'm going to be including that in a future wrap-up video. But the short is that book is not space opera. It's a book about multiverses, which has nothing to do with space travel. So I don't know why I put it in my TBR because I know what space opera is, and that book is not space opera. So that book doesn't really count, and I didn't end up reading anything else on my TBR as of yet. I'm hoping to change that because the month is not over, but at the moment I'm listening to an audiobook that is a new release I got from Libro FM through their review program, and definitely links down below if you're interested in trying a new audiobook service. Libro FM is fantastic. And I got a chance to listen to When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. This is set in a community where the Black residents are getting pushed out as new white people are moving in. It's told in a dual perspective, and I'm only a few chapters in, but I'm definitely enjoying it. It's very topical for everything happening this year with the Black Lives Matters movement, and I will absolutely be reporting back with a full review once I'm done, but this one definitely looks promising. And I also want to talk to you about the book I'm physically reading, and that is Midnight Rain by James Newman. This is a super dark coming-of-age story that is about a 12-year-old boy living in the late 70s. He sees the murder of a girl, and that changes his life. He's terrified to go to the police because of what he saw, and it's basically a loss of innocence and the events that follow up afterwards when he's trying to grapple with what he saw and now what he should do about it. I am quite far into the book at this point. I only have about, I think, 75 pages left. I'm pretty much at the climax and I'm dying to get back to it. So because I'm actually recording this on Saturday, I'm sure by the time you're watching this on Tuesday, I'll have finished this book. And so definitely I'll be reviewing this one. But unless the ending goes really sideways, this book is fantastic. I would already recommend it. And yeah, this is the coming of age story I was looking for after finishing December Park. This one's a lot darker, which is kind of exactly what I want right now. It definitely has favorite potential. So again, unless the ending goes to some really weird place and like aliens show up, this will probably end up on my favorites list for the year. So heads up for that. And yeah, I'll report back with longer thoughts, but oh, it's so good. And because I'm probably going to need something else to read after finishing that, I'm actually thinking about reading Slade House by David Mitchell, which is a literary haunted house story. And for those of you who are familiar with my channel, you're probably thinking, what are you thinking? You hate haunted house stories. But I did read the first couple pages. I got the ebook sample, and I was really liking the writing style. And sometimes literary books kind of work for me. It's quite short, and I've heard really good things about it. So I'm gonna give it a try. If I finish it, I'll definitely be reporting back, and hopefully it'll be one of those beautiful short stories that just work for me. And even though it's a haunted house story, hopefully it'll become a new favorite. So those are my short-term reading plans. They are always subject to change, and I'm still hoping to get to some more science fiction this month, specifically space opera, because I am failing this readathon hard. But regardless, I will keep you posted, and of course keep posting reviews as I keep reading. So let's get back to the Nightworms package now. So as I mentioned mentioned, the theme for September was Fall for Murder, which is all about serial killers. And before I get into the actual package, I always like to disclose that I am a rep for the Nightworms, and what that means is that I did receive this package for free as part of my unpackaging on camera, and I'm always so thankful for that. I realize it's a wonderful privilege to have, and I've gotten so many amazing books and goodies through this program, and I'm just a huge fan of this horror subscription service, which is available for the US, the UK, and Canada. I'm going to have all the information down below, as well as my personal code if you want to start a subscription, but I'll have more details at the end. Let's get into the books. First, the book I am most personally excited for is a nonfiction true crime book called America's First Female Serial Killer, Jane Toppin and the Making of a Monster by Mary Kay McBraver. And I understand that this is written by a non-white author. I believe she's actually a contributor to Book Riot, which is an amazing resource for anyone looking to read more diversely. And I've just heard such good things about this book. It's relatively short, which is a good thing for me when it comes to true crime, because I find that some true crime books are overly long and I just get bogged down in too many details, but this one looks short and sweet, and it really focuses on, like it says, the first American serial killer that was a woman, but specifically looking at what led her potentially to become a murderer. And I really like that psychology behind it, looking at her upbringing, and I'm so excited to get into this one. So very grateful to receive a copy of this. Next is another one I'm also quite excited to check out, and this is Standalone by Paul Michael Anderson, and this is a story about a group of serial killers that are now being hunted. I understand that this one is quite meta, and it possibly has a science fiction element to it, because the back of the book mentions something about multiverses, which is a trope that I absolutely love when it comes up in sci-fi. And so I'm hoping that this one will blend horror and sci-fi together, which you know I love. I have actually read one other book, at least one, by Paul Michael Anderson, and really enjoyed it. I just found it to be really surprising, and so I am very eager to read more by him, and this looks like the perfect next book to do that with. And the last book in this package is equally as exciting because it's actually a Nightworms exclusive, and that is Shadowvista by Charles Colte and Mark Sleeson. And this, I understand, is about a community of homes that was partially built and then never finished. They ran out of money, and now the story is told from a part-time student who works as a security guard, just basically guarding the homes, making sure that no one is breaking into them and living in them. But little does he know, there is actually a serial killer on the loose on the properties, and he is possibly coming for this young man. And like I said, you know I love a good serial killer story. This one looks like a novella because it's quite short, and it should just be a fun read. And again, I'm always grateful to receive these exclusive books, because otherwise I quite literally would not be able to get my hands on one. And finally, I'll show you what they included in their goodie bag here. First, you know I love a hot drink, and they included some hot cocoa in this package. This is described as being vegan and organic by retreatdrinks.com. And while I'm not vegan myself, I definitely know friends and specifically Nightworm subscribers who are vegan, so I'm sure that they will really appreciate that. There are also 2 bookmarks in this package. The first one is advertising Charles Colte's other books, and I'm sorry, I'm sure I'm saying his name wrong. I'm definitely not as familiar how to say that last name, but that's fantastic. As well, there is also the classic Nightworms bookmark, this one commemorating this package here, which again is Fall for Murder, and it's on nice hard cardboard, and I will definitely make good use of this one, as I have with all the others. There are also signatures for all 3 books in this package, which is great, so I'm definitely going to be putting these on the inside cover flap, and definitely always excited when these are included. There's also an advertisement for Halloween season, stories by Lucy A. Snyder, and I understand it's a short story collection that, as you would imagine, is centered all around Halloween. And I think this is perfect because, like so many people, I'm always looking for horror stories that are actually centered around Halloween, because surprisingly, a lot of them aren't. They're either set over summer or even around Christmas. So I'm definitely intrigued. If I can get a copy of this, I would like to check it out. So that's really cool to hear about this. And on the back of the information sheet, there's also a coupon for Perpetual Motion Machine Publishing, and there is 10% off if you use the special code that they provided here. And I believe they're the ones that did The Girl in the Video, which is that novella I really liked, so that would be a good one to pick up. And last but certainly not least, I love the sticker that they included this month, and this one says true crime and chill with a little heart, and that is just perfect. So I think they really knocked out of the park with their sticker selection this month. So that is it for this video. As always, let me know what you thought of this package, as well as what you think of what's currently on my nightstand. I would also love to hear what you are currently reading, so share that down below. If you're interested in getting your own Nightworms package, I always have information included in the description box. If you're brand new, you can use the code TAKE5 for just one package, or if you're ready to get your first subscription, you can use my code ORANGE5. I don't get any financial kickback, simply lets them know that you came from watching my video. And if you want to get started, the November package should be on sale by now. The theme, I believe, is Haunted Harvest, and they are including 2 exclusive books sold through Thunderstorm Books. And whenever they do exclusive packages, they always sell out, so I do recommend getting on that early. Hopefully they are still available by the time you're watching this on Tuesday. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below or direct them directly to the owners, Sadie and Ashley. They have excellent customer service. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. I do read a lot of horror as well as thrillers, science fiction, fantasy, and honestly, I'd like to be reading a little bit more true crime these days. As always, thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you again soon. Okay, bye-bye.